Warning, this is not a toy. Misuse or careless use may cause serious injury or death. For adult use only. Before using, read owner's manual, available free from Sig Sauer, made in Japan. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are looking at the Sig Sauer M17 CO2 blowback pellet pistol. It is from Sig Airguns. It's got authentic weight, balance, and handling. And let's get a look at it right now. So this is my Sig Sauer. You can see that the magazine is out right now. You can also look down there and see that the chamber is empty. This is right where the pellets would be. The pellet stack would be sitting right there in the magazine. And it is clear. So we're looking at this today. And I think it is a very high quality piece. Now when I was a youngster, I had a Benjamin 177 caliber. This is a .177 caliber also. And I wore the pump out on that pistol and I liked it. It was great. But it wasn't as much fun as this one. This one it's a lot of fun. To go through 20 pellets is really easy. I like the authenticity of this. Now you just can't go running around like you can with a Daisy BB gun, because it looks too real. It's a good option for practicing safety. I believe trigger safety, trigger discipline as they call it. Now I've added a few things. It comes pre-cut for a Sig Sauer Reflex red dot. And I picked that up. It's the official Sig Sauer red dot, as you can see. It fits on there perfectly. If I can get a focus here. There we go, there's a focus. And I also picked up this laser, this SOLOFISH laser flashlight. Now this was inexpensive, it was only $26, but it's got a lot going for it for the price, since this is just an air gun. The magazine, I really like the technical aspect of this magazine. I'm a former mechanic, so I like the way certain things come together. It has this lever. Now this is charged, so I'm not going to dump it, but this lever comes down. You drop the CO2 in here and you just squeeze it together and you're good to go. It's no tools, no Allen wrench to go in the bottom. It comes out with the magazine, which I like. Now the pellet magazine comes out like this. And you just open it, squeeze it on the side and hold it on top, and there's your chain link or belt fed pellets. So you got 20 rounds there. The recoil from this slide is a blowback slide, which some people say, you know, it's not much good because it doesn't cock the trigger, reset the trigger, but it gives you a realistic feel. Now watch the slide. The slide, you can see your barrel flip, as they call it. You can see it move, and you can practice holding it steady as the air sends the slide back. It's a good practice. But I did see that I was able to tighten up my grip and get that laser to stay still, which that's what it's all about, squeezing the trigger and keeping that dot at a distance. Now when that dot is over on a 20-foot wall, it's quite a ways away. So a little movement here is a whole lot 20 feet away. So the practice on that, I think, is excellent. And this red dot also, I always was curious about those when I saw them on pistols, and I'm like, what is that all about? So that's what this is all about for mine. Now you have a thumb trigger, a thumb safety. So you have a thumb safety that will allow you to pull the trigger, but it won't allow anything to go off. So of course, it wouldn't be a good safety if it let that happen. So to turn on this red dot, let me get rid of my magazine here. To turn on this red dot, you have one button right there. There, you can see it. So it's a little So you can see the button right there. To turn it on, you just press it once quickly, and then to turn it off, you hold it down for 3 seconds. So to turn it on, just touch it once. Turn it on, you touch it once, and there's your red dot right there. And it's on the 3rd level. It has 5 levels of brightness, and it gets pretty bright. But the first 2 levels, I really don't see it. I have to get it to the 3rd level. Let me find it again. There it is. Okay, so to turn it off, just hold it down for 3 seconds. There, it goes off. So the pistol already, the air pistol comes already cut for a optic, which is very nice. And if you buy the Sig Air optic, it comes with 2 plates, one for the Airsoft version and one for the pellet pistol version. So it comes with everything you need. Now to break down the pistol, you just pull it back till you hit this slot right here, or this groove. Pull that back, similar to the real one, lift up and slide it off the front. Just like that. So to take the barrel out, to do a breakdown, you push down this barrel button right there, and the barrel comes right out. It has a flat right there, so you can only turn it in one way. It has to line up. And then here's your spring assembly right here. So the trigger's right here, works that hammer right there. And what I like about this magazine, I like this magazine that it has a lever, it's all in one. Put the CO2 in there, squeeze it, and you're done. You've already pierced it. But also, since you can buy this separately, if the seal wears out or the lever wears out or anything wears out, you don't have to throw your gun away. You can buy this separate. Or you can have multiple ones ready to shoot. So that, as a wear point, it's a high wear point. If you're changing your cylinders regularly, that could wear out. I like that it's replaceable. Some people have serviced the seals separately, but if you couldn't, at least you can buy a new magazine and you're all ready to go. So this slide goes in only one way. It's got a bottom that's narrower, goes into that slot right there, just like that. Take your barrel, and you can see down the barrel is rifled. Yeah, you can see that. See the rifling? It's got a pretty good twist on it. So this flat goes in here like that. You line it up, you push in that button there until it clicks, and now that is in there firmly. Now before I put the slide back on, I'm going to show you these 2 screws. These 2 screws hold this rear sight. This rear sight holds this plate, and this plate has a front tab that goes right in there. You got to get it locked in. So when you remove it, some people have had issues with the Loctite, and they have to heat it up with a hair dryer or a heat gun. I didn't have any trouble with the Loctite. I think I didn't see the ones that the ones with these washers on the versions that I saw some people taking it apart, but you can see there's a star washer there on the screws. They did have Loctite, but it wasn't too bad. I just used a very sharp, good, non-worn out Phillips screwdriver, and I took those 2 screws out, transfer the sights over to the new plate. Now, the instructions said to put the sight onto the plate and put the plate onto the receiver, onto the slide. But what I found is there is an overhang right there. That overhang didn't allow me to catch the front tab. I had to loosen the sight. So just be aware that when you get ready to put this on there, either leave it loose or leave it off. Because it is removable, because you have to remove it to get to the battery. So now, to sight this in, I took it, put the pistol into a device to clamp it. I aimed the hot iron sights at the target. I verified that they were on center, on the center dot. Then I put the 2 screws in here, put this on, and then I dialed this, the windage and the elevation screws until they were on the center target, and the 2 came together and they agreed, and then my red dot was on. But at first I tried just doing the setting and I couldn't get it. I was all over the place. So like I said, I put the pistol in a fixture to hold the pistol and then sighted in the iron sights, verified they were on target, and then I put this on and then just dialed it in. So to put it back together, you just slide that over, pull it back, drop it down, push it down a little bit, bring it forward till that little notch lines up right here in the middle. Swing that forward, and then you're good to go, just like that. Now this has blowback action, so the slide blows back, similar to a real deal, and it also gives you a little bit of lift. So that lift is good for practicing with your laser. Or the red dot, but the laser is better for that, from what my experience. Then you can see that you have to work on your grip so that when you squeeze the trigger, that laser doesn't bounce. Because when that laser is 20 feet across the room, you can see a little bit, just a little bit of movement is a lot. Now, I made big improvement in 1 week just practicing that way. You can dry fire it and you can hold that laser on your target, and then you get really good at it. So this SOLOFISH also comes with a flashlight, pretty bright. I think it's like 600 lumens, and it's got a rechargeable battery. It has a magnetic setup on the bottom, so you don't have a plug that's going to go in and out. You just set the magnetic tip on there and charge it. It's all built in. This was only $26. It was, I think, very reasonable for what it is, and it really helps your practice. Practice helps a lot. So on this magazine, you got the CO2 chamber, the lever, charging lever, and it lifts the CO2 up in there and pushes on the seal. And then you have this, says right on the front there, this side towards the target. Goes in like that, clicks like that, and then just push it in like that, and then you got your thumb safety. Now this is still on safe, so it's in the safe mode, and like I said, you can clear your weapon, make sure that it's clear. Good practice, all good practice. Finger trigger discipline, it's all something that I'm trying to master. And I thought it would be good to master it with a CO2 pistol, an air pistol that is very realistic. So I am liking this. It's a very well built. Now I've did a lot of research, and some people, well, one person in particular, machined a plate to go in the front because there is some up and down movement right here. See that? Now that affects the sight in the back, because if you move this up and down, see that gap right there? That tips your sight just a little bit. Now what he was experiencing was when he pulled the trigger, and we already showed that there's nothing in here. So when he pulled the trigger, this slide was lifting. Now my trigger doesn't do that. I don't know, he may have had the Airsoft version. This one stays on the rail, gravity holds it on the rail, so when you pull the trigger, nothing moves. So really that movement is not affecting your sight like it was in his. I think he has an Airsoft version. So pull in the trigger and it doesn't move, it doesn't change your sight. So this sits down on the slide. Now when you've got the laser on, that doesn't affect anything. You can practice your trigger pull and this with the laser really good, because you put that laser 20 feet away and a little bit of movement is a lot of movement. So you can practice that with the laser really really will help your trigger pull out. Well, since the air is almost done, let's go ahead and do it the rest of the way. Okay, we have no pellets in here. This is for demonstration purposes only, no pellets. Here is the pellet magazine, and the pellet magazine is not in. Okay, to change the CO2, pop this lever out, dump it out, drop in a new one, squeeze it together. And I got pinched. I never get pinched, but for the video I got pinched, okay? You didn't hear any leak out. I like that. That's 100% that it didn't leak out. So this Sig Sauer red dot comes with a little cover. Now mine doesn't snap on really firm. I'm gonna heat it up, and there's 2 tabs in the corner here that are supposed to go in these 2 slots. And I'm gonna see if I can squeeze it a little bit, because I really don't like the way it fits. It's very, very floppy. But other than that, I think this is a very high quality piece. Now, I had purchased when I was younger, many years, a 22 caliber air CO2, and I experienced, you know, I did some shots and all the CO2 leaked out, and 22 was too big a caliber for it, and it was a BB-22, and it was just terrible. It had no power, it had no accuracy, didn't have anything. It didn't have any of the quality of this. As a CO2 air pistol, this quality on this is very good. Now, I do want to mention, some people talk about how they don't like some guns, some of these air guns have big white text. Now this is very subtle right here. And there you have it, guys, a very quality CO2 air pistol. I'm really liking it. I think you'll like it also. Catch you guys on the next one.